Hey, it's Isaac, and so I'm super psyched about this video. I filmed it about a month ago, I think. Same day that I went and did, I filmed like a dyno video and some other stuff down at Phoenix Bike Company. But this one was kind of cool because I was actually buying a new brake. What was I buying? A brake lever and some other stuff. I'd already upgraded some parts on my bike, so I kind of nailed Shaun down from Phoenix Bike Company. Was just like, hey man. Someone like me that's coming back into BMX from the 80s, what are the parts now? Because there's a lot, like disc brakes weren't a thing when I was riding flatland. Just a lot of the stuff is different. And so I wanted to get used to it and familiar with it. So I got him to sit down and talk about like some of the upgrades we've done on my bike and some of the stuff that he recommends as a bike mechanic, what you should upgrade and why. And the thing about these big bikes, out of the box, they're perfect. They're great. You're going to have a good time with most of them. I haven't ridden some of the super low-end model stuff, but anything SE or Throne or GT or Haro, I mean, they're all going to be good. Now, what you have to understand, though, is to get these bikes out to market, they do put stuff that's going to wear out faster, not because they want to wear them out so you buy more stuff, but because they want you to get a bike at an affordable price. And so some things are just, they're going to wear out. Tires are going to wear out. One of the things that we talk about in this video is freewheel. Getting a freewheel with more engagement is a great way to do this. We talk about originate in the video, but Ride Out Supply also has a great freewheel that they have that has the same articulation points as the originate freewheel, the Hornet. So I think this video is going to be useful for people like me or anyone that's just not, if you're getting into big bike BMX or you're getting to the point where you start wanting to upgrade some of the parts, this is a great video for you. Shaun breaks down like the how, what, why, where of some of these just simple upgrades. None of them are all that pricey, but totally worth it. And they do change the game quite a bit. Like just changing the gear ratio on my Big Ripper made night and day difference, because with a lower, is it maybe lower, higher, I got a bigger freewheel in the back, which makes it easier to pedal and easier to pop the wheel up. And also for me, like if I'm learning a new trick, I can half crank or quarter crank to get out of it and kind of gain control again. If the front wheel starts to go down, I can easily mash down and get my front wheel back up again. So a lot of you that are into combos and stuff like that, I think you'd probably benefit a lot from an easier gearing. So enjoy the video. Shaun's going to break down a lot of it. I didn't like the way that I filmed it, not anything Shaun did. It's just, I wish I would have filmed him differently. But I really, his advice and his know-how is just clutch. So here it is the way that I filmed it, and I hope you enjoy it. Good luck on your upgrades, and let's talk. I mean, if you want to talk about upgrades and bikes, comment below. I try and answer everything at this stage because I love talking about bikes, and I will probably ask you all about your bike because I want to know all about all the bikes because I love them. So have fun, enjoy the video. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye. All right, here we are at Phoenix Bike Company. We've got my buddy Shaun over here. Hey. And we're just hanging out, and for me, one of the biggest questions I had, Shaun, after buying my Big Ripper and coming back into the BMX world from 87 all the way, like I would say, like I stopped riding about, let's say, just 89, 90. And so from that point on, like, I know the parts that are now repopped. Yeah. So I keep hearing repop, I keep hearing like, oh, we've got flight cranks, but they're not necessarily the same redline flight cranks. They just look like it. So I was curious about upgrading my new bike. Where do I start? What do I do?
I mean, a couple like just basic upgrades that you can start with. Because a lot of bikes, I mean, they come with, like the regular thin tubes in them. Maybe some cheaper brake levers, brake lines, cables, all that kind of stuff. Pedals as well, seats.
Yeah.
Freewheels, chains are all, a couple things that you can get into. Like these are a couple different style cables that you can run. Mm-hmm. one being just a slick cable that has, you know, still the same style with the coiled band that's in it. Not as stiff, you know, per se, or reactive as far as like, you know, actually pulling it, which leads to braking power. When this is coiled, and then when you grab your brake lever, that compresses, which isn't giving you essentially the actual braking power that you may want. Still good though, because it is a lined cable as far as it goes, and I mean, obviously.
So, and also like this is close to what I remember riding in the 80s.
Very similar. A little bit better than what was around, you know, back then.
Yeah.
But
I remember my biggest
same design.
Yeah, like the biggest upgrade was like there was Teflon on the inside of the cable.
Yep.
On the inside, so you'd have to like break the Teflon out.
Which happens, yeah, with any of the coated stuff. I mean, it does break down over time.
Sure.
And can gunk it up, and then it starts sticking, things like that. But even with the Teflon these days, it's night and day.
Yeah.
Like they've come a long way in technology as far as what's going on. But I mean, this is probably a good upgrade from what comes on your bike.
Right.
This is even better as far as it goes, because it does the same exact thing, but this is what's called a linear cable.
Okay.
So the actual strands that are ran in this cable are actually linear, hence linear cable, but it's stiffer. So when you grab your brake lever, you get like your power transfer, kind of like a transmission kind of thing or anything like that. It doesn't flex as much or compress, so when you grab it, it actually puts more pressure on your brake pads to actually stop your wheel.
Okay. Physics. So what you're telling me is science.
Hell yeah.
Scientifically, this one's better than that one. Okay.
Yeah. Science.
Now, one of the first things I upgraded was my freewheel.
Yep.
Let's talk about the other, because what we're talking about is like if you buy this you know, so let's say big or monster quad here, good parts, but they do bring it to market in an affordable way by maybe the pedals aren't so great, or in the freewheel or the brake cable.
Most
so
definitely.
That's where we're at.
Like, for instance, like I mean, a lot of the bike brands, obviously, they put together a hell of a bike. It's a great bike, don't get me wrong, but I mean, they're not the cheapest bikes on the market either. And so like if they were throwing, you know, say this on every single bike, you know, better pedals, better freewheel, chain, things like that. I mean, from a bike that's going to be, for instance, like they put out right now, like take example, like the Monster Quad's $900.
Right.
If they were to, you know, do your upgraded cable, pedals, you know, a little bit like the thorn resistant tubes, levers, freewheel, you're probably going to be at now $1,200 versus, you know, kind of getting into a bike. Like they try and not dumb it down, but put together one hell of a bike to make sure that it's still somewhat affordable.
Yeah, it's cost effective. It's cost effective to add parts
exactly
that are built to wear out versus, hey, you're going to have this titanium pedal from the get.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, the other thing, as you can see, I mean, even though these are two different cables, like I was stating, but I mean, obviously you can see one's black, one's white. I mean, they come red, blue, green, you know, so like...
Easy way to customize.
Yeah, you can make it yours. So that way, you know, you can change it up and actually make a mass-produced bike unique.
Yep. So one of the first things I did was the freewheel, right?
Yeah. So freewheels are honestly one of the first things I recommend doing because, for instance, like this is just your Originate Hornet.
Yep.
Actually a great freewheel for the price, but it also, I mean, comes in all different sizes, you know, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. But the difference in it is that the engagement points on it are a lot quicker than what you'd feel, for instance. Like, so your regular freewheel is probably going to have, you know, quite a bit of play in it, things like that. This has 108 points of engagement, which means as far as if you're into wheelies, things like that, or even just going down the street, it's a lot stronger. And the play that's in your pedals as far as like your half cranks, things like that are a lot quicker, and they actually, like, your half crank is a half crank. It's not, you know, your half crank's not a quarter crank because you have that play.
Right.
But so I mean, they are, you know what I mean, you can hear it. So like the engagement is super minimal, like as you can see as I'm turning it. So like that all plays, that transfers to your cranks as far as, you know, how much play you have. So like if your wheels drop and you give it a quarter crank, like it'll be more responsive.
Right.
As far as it goes.
I noticed in my stock Big Ripper freewheel, when I would get to that point, especially when I was learning to wheelie again, when you are doing those short cranks to try and just enough power to tap it, maybe I overbraked.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep the wheel up, so I just quickly tap again. It wasn't as responsive as it is now.
Yeah.
With a more articulated.
Yeah.
And more points of engagement.
Most definitely, it gives you a little bit more control.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, if you want to try and wheelie with your wheel a little bit lower, you can run that, or you know, higher. You know, especially depending on what, you know, it
gives you more. For me, I feel like I have more control and feel for my bike.
Exactly. Definitely more control to say the least.
I'm a huge fan of this freewheel, this exact freewheel. What did we do on mine? It was in 17. We changed it to a 17.
Yeah.
So I changed my gearing up to where it was more. What I rode on my flatland bike was 43/18. And so I just have the stock, what is it, 35, 25? What's on the front of a Big Ripper?
Honestly, on the front,
I don't remember.
Off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure.
But I know we dropped
it's like 35, 36.
30, I think it's 35. And so we dropped what did we drop? 17.
Yeah.
And it is so responsive that I often wonder what people are doing, just riding their stock gearing. Because like if I come in here and take a shop bike, and we go and do a bike check or review.
Yeah.
I am mashing down on on the crank to get that front wheel up, but on my bike, it just right on up. So one of the best things I ever did was.
It's one of the things.
You want to get better at wheelies, get a bigger chain ring in the back, a bigger freewheel, and it will change dramatically the way you ride your bike.
That, and I mean, these, as far as the originates go, I mean, they don't break the bank either, and it improves it quite a bit.
Night and day.
Like, and I mean, and even from this, I mean, it goes up and up.
Yeah.
You know, like as far as like drag, things like that. Like
huge upgrade.
I mean, you can spend, you know, I mean, Originate makes this one, the Hornet. It's a great freewheel. Box makes one that's amazing.
Same number of same 108. Is it 108?
Same number of points of engagement.
Yeah.
White Industries makes a rebuildable one that's even better than this, but I mean, we're talking 100, 150 bucks.
Okay.
Same with Profile. Profile makes an Elite freewheel that's rebuildable, but you know, that's 150. So I mean, it's even more minimal.
Right.
But I mean, it all just depends on what you want, you know.
I rode yours. It sounds good too.
Yeah.
The one on your dirt jumper.
Yeah. So that's my hubs, the Profile Elite hubs.
So we're talking today about. I want to get a front brake. I've got a 990 plate that I found. So that's why we're talking about this stuff here. Brake cables. We're getting over to the levers and stuff. Tell me about the box levers. What's so great about these?
They're just smooth. They're well built. As far as they go, like, you know, like I was talking to you. They come in. There's a couple different ones. So they have your short reach and your long reach. Only difference is, I mean, that's not about how cable pull is, but as you can see, this one's a little bit shorter than what this one is with the bend in it. It's just all about comfort and like how you like it to feel on your bike. Still very, very built super well, and honestly, as you pointed out to me earlier, that they're flip-flop, so you can run them on the front or rear.
Yeah. So I'm getting a front brake. This in the box looks like it's a rear brake, but once you pull that out, this was new to me. This was something they didn't do in the 80s. So
yeah, they were proprietary.
They were.
You know, like so you couldn't flip them.
Flip it, Still says box right there,
And you don't see the screws,
No screws.
or the actual head of the cable.
right? And what he's talking about when he says head of the cable, the head goes right into the middle there. Try to get an angle. So the barrel slides in there, and you have a flip-flop brake lever. So I'm gonna take that. That's the one I'm buying. That's why we're opening it.
Well,
There it is.
might as well do it, right?
Do it, because I don't have that at home. Wear out your parts, your tools.
It's fine. I got you. So yeah. So if you wanted it on the rear,
That's the rear. Same thing on the front. So it's gonna look the same.
and then like he was saying, it's in the middle versus a lot of levers. If they're proprietary, it has a hole on the bottom.
Yep.
So I mean, whether it's on the front or the rear,
It's legit.
it looks the same.
All right. And then I also needed, because I want to run flatland, I needed I don't know, in my day we called this a POTS mod, but it's just a hollow stem bolt so the brake cable can go down through the stem. And I'm gonna go with a Black Ops brake setup. Just because I like the bars that I've got that are Black Ops, and they're cheap. I really don't need a whole lot of stopping power.
And they still work
And
well.
it's gonna do the job that I need it to do. I don't necessarily need an Odyssey $50 brake. I just use it to stop and do endos. So cool. I'm excited to get this setup going. Appreciate Phoenix Bike Company helping me out, get all my parts lined up. And also thank you, Shaun, for explaining to me why this stuff is important and
Anytime.
what's
Like,
different between
if
now and the 80s.
anyone, I mean, even if you have questions, things like that, you can call, stop by. We're here, to help anyone answer questions. There's no dumb question.
And here's the deal. They've got everything. They've got old school. They've got fixies. Like we were just looking at your personal fixie just now.
Yeah.
Off camera. There's the Kuwahara ET bike. But I mean, you've got the SE. You've got the mid-school Haro 2020. Got some 20s there. And then on the other side, all this stuff here. All big bikes. And then up there, these are all the bikes that you rode as a kid. There's a Haro Sport, some dynos, some GT race bikes, some old school, and some new over there. Right through there, we've got some old school Schwinn's from the 50s. There's one from 1955 over there. You guys had a Donald Duck bike last week.
We did, yeah.
Did you guys find out how many of those were ever made?
I don't know exactly.
Super rare.
I
though.
just
That thing's
know
insane.
that between a lot of our resources, we were told that a lot of people only know of about 5 to 6 still in existence.
Survivors.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So if you need parts, they've got all the Haro lineage stuff, all the way to the old school. I remember those thread-on pegs.
Right. The fork
Standers.
standers.
Some old sprockets. So if you're building up an old bike and you want some original parts, they've got them. If you want some repop parts, they've got them. You just want to talk about BMX stuff, they can do that. My son chilling, playing a game.
That is, I mean, if you have a full bike too, bring it by.
Yeah, we want to see them, right?
We want to see it.
Those old mallet stems down there are so dope. Love that stuff. Old GT mags. Show them what? Oh, the pins. Taryn, would you like to show us the pins?
Yes.
Your face is all dirty because you just got back from a birthday party, and I love that. Don't even trip. Come over here and show me the pins, Taryn. Which one's your favorite?
That one.
The one with, so she likes the one with the fixie. There's one with GT, Bike Life, Phoenix Bike Company. Got a playing card dude and his son. Got the SE Bikes, Phoenix Bike Company towel. They have those for sale too.